Because I did look up who she's married to, and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna take some of her children's juice boxes every now and then. And I will.
Dude, what's wrong with these people? Bro, Republicans are so strange. Like, you'll be like, hey, the real problem is the systematic looting that takes place against the working class in this country. So I don't give a shit if like a poor person is stealing a loaf of bread from Whole Foods. Who gives a fuck, right? And they go, oh yeah? Well, I'm going to rape and kill you. I'm going to come to your house with a gun and I'm going to murder you. I'm going to steal your shit. I'm going to fucking kill you dead with a gun. I'm going to shoot you in front of your family. I'm going to horrify everybody. It's like, what are you saying? What are you saying? This is not how normal conversations take place. This is not like owning someone in the fucking marketplace of ideas. Why are you so fucking deranged? Why? Why are you so deranged, dude? She literally said, I'm going to steal your children's juice boxes, bro. Are you fucking all right? Is your brain okay? What the fuck's going on? Yeah, moral panic about people with zero societal power shoplifting at Whole Foods while billionaires and corporations raise human civilization into the ground amid U.S.-funded genocide. Like, are you not embarrassed? No. I don't give a fuck about shoplifting because it doesn't harm anyone. Wealth hoarding and the commodification of basic human needs harms unsaid numbers of people and is actively violent, but is seen as acceptable behavior because punching down is the system at work while punching up is a crime, which is ironically the point I was making as well. What a fucking crazy world we live in. What's worse is that there are a lot of people, I think, that have that conservative demon in their minds, right? There's a lot of wonderful people in general, all around the world, people that you know, people that you might even love, who hear this and go, you know what, that's a fine point. There is this attitude that some Americans have, I call it peasant mentality, right? Where they're like, oh no, I will defend the systems unconditionally. I'm its most loyal servant. I'm its most loyal vanguard. I am the vanguard that will defend the billionaires and the millionaires and the big corporations, even when they steal from me, even when they fuck me over, even when they poison my water supply. I don't give a shit. I'll defend it. And it doesn't make sense. I don't understand it, dude. Just like think. When someone tries to explain to you that like the reason why you feel the economic struggle on a day-to-day basis is because this system is designed this way. The system is designed in a way where it fucks you over. And it also it's also designed in a way where you never think about it. The moment of thinking about it shouldn't be met with immediate resistance to be like, no! How dare you say this system is designed in a way that fucks me over? I think it's the immigrants. Excuse me. I think it is the immigrants, actually. It's not the billionaires and the mega corporations. They would never harm me. They're good.
Show back up with my reciprocating saw just after you've had your door fixed. Because that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And people who work in retail or who have to work jobs when they're teenagers actually understand the downside of theft, because if you work in a store that has too much shrink, your store gets closed.
Yes.
If it's a chain, and people lose their job.
And they're always in like neighborhoods that actually needed the drugstores.
Right.
Those are the ones that close. Those don't know that. Excuse my language. Kennedy. I want to point to another elitist lefty douche. He's the lead singer of the Strokes, Julian Casablancas. Remember, his dad was like,
oh. King of late night comedy, baby. He's real mad. Julian Casablancas. I hate that guy. Why? Because he said American Zionists are constantly portraying themselves as fucking victims while they're actively trying to defend a genocide when the real victims are the Palestinians. Okay? American Zionists present themselves as victims, and not only just victims, but also they present themselves as victims akin to black people living under slavery, while their ultimate goal is to defend the state of Israel when the real victims are the Palestinians. That's what he said. It was incredible.
John Casablancas.
Yes. Wasn't he charged with like rape and stuff? He was a really bad perv anyway. We won't talk about.
You're Greg Buttfeld. What are you talking about? You've dedicated. First of all, I have no idea what the fuck happened with Julian Casablancas, whatever. You're Greg Buttfeld. You're Mr. Me Too is fake. What are you talking about? The president that you defend is a rapist. The guy who threatened you got banned. Now he's definitely going to try and kill me. I mean, even the fact that he goes rape and stuff, the fact that he says rape and stuff undermines the argument that he's trying to even fucking present.
That, but they were all socialites. Now they're socialists and anti-Semites.
King of late night, Greg Buttfeld, Omega woke. When did this happen? Dude. Oh, Julian's dad is French Epstein? Yeah, I'm not doing sins of the father here. Trump was friends with John Casablancas and they ran modeling agencies together. Casablancas was friends with Donald Trump and elite model management, represented his daughter Ivanka when she became a fashion model at the age of... Oh my God. Wait. Are you telling me that they're shitting on another Epstein affiliate who happens to be his father? They're shitting on an Epstein affiliate while defending the Epstein affiliate that's the president? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? They're doing the San Francisco Chronicle article. They're literally doing the thing that the San Francisco Chronicle did. Where they were like, oh, you speak out about Israel? Well, guess what? You might have been a victim of Jeffrey Epstein at a certain point. Ha ha! How dare you? Here's some accountability. Here's some accountability, Julian. What the fuck? None of this makes sense. Julian is estranged from his father since he was 8. Okay, but here's the thing. That still doesn't make sense. Because if in your moral system, you're saying Epstein is bad and all of his affiliates are demonic, which I agree with. That's what I believe, okay? You can't defend the fucking president who's the main Epstein affiliate, okay? I believe that, Greg. You don't. What are you talking about? And it obviously doesn't make sense when you're talking about a dude who was like fucking 8 years old. Tarek. 87 months. Holy moly. Eyvallah, Tarek.
What is another take? Give me another one. These are really good.
You want the most controversial one? American Zionists get the benefits of, white privileged people, but talk like they are black people during slavery.
100% agree. I've never seen something so shocking where they're like, I'm so
oppressed.
I'm an oppressed person. I'm like, you are going to a wedding in Tel Aviv right now when there are 80,000 dead people and more, 80,000 plus dead people, including women and children, half a mile away.
Kennedy. So, the Jews aren't really targeted by Hamas or anything because they're
The
just
far
white.
Right, the far left.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty much everyone
Yeah.
who's not a rational person, kind of.
Why? Okay, let me ask you. So you see that other dude, I can't remember, Hasan, whatever his face is, and then you got this guy. it's like, what is behind? Like, they live they live completely differently than the way they speak. They don't want chaos.
No, absolutely not. And
No, we don't. We don't want chaos. No, I don't want chaos. I'm saying chaos is already here. Okay? Chaos is not happening in your neighborhood, Greg Buttfeld. Okay? But chaos is happening to many Americans. Many Americans, many ordinary Americans in their lives is filled with chaos. Chaos born out of living under the system that is deliberately designed to fuck them over. Chaos exists for them in a permanent basis. And that's precisely the reason why sometimes people flip in that chaos and do decentralized acts of violence, which I don't think is productive or good. That's it. That's the argument that I'm making. I'm saying chaos is already happening. It's just not happening to you, so you literally don't see it, or you're tasked with refusing to see it. You're tasked, you get paid to make it seem like all this chaos that's happening to the poor people is happening on their own volition because of their own moral failing.
Casablancas, he's the lead singer of The Strokes. His band has sucked for a long time. They had a pretty good record in 2020, but everything like the 10 years before, and I'm sure the 10 years after, will be pretty much garbage because he is a Nepo baby who has lost the muse. Yeah. And now he's trying to find relevance by going to the most extreme progressive talking points that he probably cribs from Hassan Piker, who was the guy in the first video that you showed. And the people they're trying to appeal to, like the radicals, they're already there, and they are one hot take away from completely turning their backs on these people. Because like the audience that they're going for is incredibly fickle. But also, back to the point about shoplifting. So they interviewed a bunch of people who were on food stamps, who do occasionally go to Whole Foods and take advantage of the sales and, trying to find healthy food. And they're like, if we tried to do that, one woman's like, I'm a black single mom. I would get arrested.
Yeah, no shit. And my point was, that shouldn't happen, okay? My point is, and I mentioned this, but I don't think it made it into the final cut. One of the more egregious aspects of this also is the fact, and I don't know, maybe it was in the video. It's obviously not clipped though. Was one of the more egregious parts about this process is that in the United States of America, you literally have to throw the food out at the end of the day, like bakeries, pastries, baked goods, things that are perishable, they get thrown out instead of being delivered to the people that desperately need it. In other countries, like France, for example, this is illegal, okay? It's illegal not to utilize the food at the end of the day. And the only reason for why that exists is because we have to keep food prices stable. It's for profit, okay? It's yet another glaringly obvious example of American corporations running the system and putting profits over the interests of people. No, it's not fucking liability reasons. That's bullshit. That is a bullshit. That is a bullshit ass reason that corporations have designed the system claim is the reason why they can't give the food out. No, it's to keep prices stable. Because if people know that you can just get free food at the end of if you get free food at the end of the day, it's definitely liability reasons. I was on a suit for that a few years ago. Not the only reason. Brother. One, you can literally make it illegal, or you can volunteer. You can revoke your liability. Okay, you can volunteer away your liability if you want to get this fucking food. But once again, is there no liability in France? Why the fuck do they already have this in the law in a place like France, for example, where at the end of the day, your perishable goods are distributed? I'm telling you right now, the whole liability law is designed so they have a good reason to throw the food out instead of giving it away. Not exactly right about France. Someone recently got a sentence to pay a fee because they pick up food from dumpsters and distribute them back to the poor. It's an ongoing evolution, but sure, better than the U.S., absolutely. That law, that liability law exists so you can point to it to have plausible deniability as a corporation. Okay? Yeah. Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act of 1996. We have protections as well, but companies still throw away the food.
They're telling me to go into Whole Foods and steal. And, you know, to Dagan's point, the Fancy Pants lives in a $2.5 million brownstone in Brooklyn. Like, they are rich people who are completely out of touch. And what this guy is saying is also so out of touch because you're talking about a group of people who are subjected to a genocide.
Yeah.
Who, in this day and age, in this city, are subjected to talk of genocide constantly. Like, they're worried about genocide. They don't have to compare themselves to anyone.
Yeah.
Wait,
They
what?
have their own unique problems that these guys very convenient.
Are you saying that those who are pro-Israel in the United States of America, I think she's trying to say like Jews, right? She's doing a substitute for American Zionists as like American Jews, right? She just like jumped over that point immediately. But the initial claim being made is those living in the United States of America that are pro-Israel, that are Zionists in the United States of America, it doesn't matter if they're Jews or Christian or even Muslim, right? Like, doesn't matter what their background is, are presenting themselves as though they are the main victims here because people dunk on them and yell at them for being pro-Israel as Israel's continuing to do a genocide. She's saying the real problem here is that, you know, I'll entertain her argument. I think she's trying to say American Jews are constantly a threat of genocide. Okay? That's an insane argument to make. I'm sorry. That's an insane argument to make. Okay? Even if that is the argument that you're trying to present here, that's a psychotic argument to make. It's fucking delusional. Why are we taking this seriously? Okay? That is just leaning into the hysteria of folks. And guess what? There is real systemic racism that black people face in the current criminal justice system, in the current American design. And if a black person were to come out and say, oh, there's a real genocide happening towards black people, you guys would talk about it endlessly. You would make fun of them. You'd make fun of them endlessly. As a matter of fact, it's probably not that difficult to find Greg Gutfeld doing just that. If I were to search Greg Gutfeld, black victimhood or something like that, I'd probably find a million different clips of Greg talking about how, like, black people, they have the greatest, they're in a profoundly privileged position by simply being here. They should be thankful that, like, white people brought them over here so they can live in the lap of luxury in modernity and Western civilization. All this fucking gross white supremacist bullshit. Meanwhile, you have the audacity to be like, if your argument is American Jews, okay, if that's the argument you're making, you're saying American Jews living in New York, okay, or American Jews living in the United States of America are at any moment, be victim to a genocide, an anti-Jewish genocide? Are you out of your fucking mind? What are we doing? This is literally DEI anti-DEI except for Jewish people. Like, from their perspective, from their framework, they're saying like DEI is all fake, gay, wrong, bullshit, except you unironically have to do this comical version of DEI that Republicans present the Republican framing of DEI, but like sincerely for American Jews. It's unbelievable.
Just turn their back on and will never acknowledge what Hamas has done to Palestine.
Yeah. You know, Tyrus, when you walk into a Walgreens or a CVS, everything is locked up. You know, that's not chaos. That's just the hyper security you get.
Well, I'm relieved because I thought that was just a Tyrus thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. This guy's off the juice. Holy shit. He looks like he dropped 100 pounds, bro. What the hell? Tyrus used to be brawling. What the fuck happened?
Here he comes. Quick. I just have one question. Who washes this?
Yeah.
My God, like, for real, like, the 3, whatever the first thing was.
Yeah.
Was the host the big one?
I couldn't tell.
Because you can't host if you are out of breath when you talk.
Yeah.
She didn't get through the sentence. Did y'all not see that? She acted like she was on a Stairmaster that somebody accidentally put on 10 because she was like, "Do you guys ever? Do you guys ever?" And then went in right into Star.
It's awesome. Yeah, Kratos, how dare you? That's not Kratos. Don't ever compare Kratos, the dad of war, to fucking this guy who very famously was like, "Oh, can I squeeze your titties?" Can I squeeze your titties, please? To his co-host.
Starbucks voice, when we steal,
He's the
I don't
chud
think
of war.
anyone's watching this, but it's an echo chamber. I don't think no one's like, "Yo, let's watch the pudgy girl run out of breath while she talks about the dude who thinks he's Matt Walsh and the other chick who can't make up or whatever she did to her face. Is she a clown? What?
The dude who thinks he's Matt Walsh, fucking gross, dude. Oh my God, ew. Ew, you have to be living on a totally separate planet if you think that being compared to Matt Walsh is anything positive.
What the hell happened to her cheeks?
Yeah.
Is that her pregame ritual? I steal. She looks like an angry squirrel.
Yeah, she's.
No, she's Canadian.
Oh, Charlie. Tyrus makes a good point that, like, probably we amplify this more than we probably get more viewers for them.
But I mean, how do you resist? It's so fun. These people are so ridiculous, and it's so fun to make fun of them. I don't think any serious person is listening to any of this crap. And these guys.
Yeah, if you're talking about the Greg Buttfeld show, then yes, no serious person is listening to that except for us. Now we're listening to it.
On the subway, they're just like mugging for TikTok. They've heard something and they want to sound smart. They want to sound dangerous, so they say stupid stuff. You can have all kinds of reasonable conversations about Israel and the war and all that kind of stuff. But this is just, the idea that somehow they're all Israelis are slavers is ridiculous. I also love if that lady, what did you call her? The TikTok lady, the twit gal,
chick.
the twit chick. If she heard Dagan threatening to come to her, the only thing she would say is, "What's a sawzall?"
I would say that.
All right, thanks.
Damn, dude, that's peak comedy, baby. You already know. That's peak comedy. All right, let's get to some serious news. I know we do mostly fuck Hasan coverage around these parts. Obviously, it's the most important, most consequential news story of all time. We're gonna get to situation monitoring. We're gonna get to Iran. Honestly, also Jeet here had this final take. Honestly, if you want to marginalize Piker, the smart play would be to ignore him. We're in such a fractured media environment that he'd remain prominent in his niche, but not have wider visibility. But the reactionary centrists and right-wing liberals can't help themselves. They have an itch, and that they need to keep scratching that itch, so they're elevating Piker by denunciation. It's a strange dynamic. Yeah. I have consistently said over and over again that I don't have this level of emotion that you guys are issuing to me. I don't know why you perceive me as such a major threat, but I'll take it. But they're Streisanding me into oblivion currently. Are you seeing your numbers up since these attacks? Not necessarily. I think. To a certain degree, it has gone up for sure. But I don't really care about my numbers going up regardless. What I do care about is the direction that American politics is heading, right? And there is definitely a little bit of room for excitement there. We have, for the first time ever, a positive trajectory, a positive outlook. You have guys like Abdullah Sayed, Chris Robb, Cori Bush, people that I'm going to be leaning into that have more representative politics, that have a real likelihood of winning their elections, changing the American Democratic Party for the first time. into a party that is more responsive to class first politics, more responsive to the politics that revolves around the majority, the real majority, the American.